Alright, so welcome to our new lesson, and it's about solving word problems with fractional coefficients. So that's a lot of fancy vocabulary here. So let's first look at some of the vocab we're going to be using. So vocab, first, what are functions? So functions is a relationship between two values. For example, 3x equals 6. Right here, x is a variable, which means it's a symbol that represents a number, and usually that symbol is English letters or sometimes even Greek letters or something like that. But anyway, these are all symbols and they are variables. But right here, you can easily find, like 3 times what equals 6? 3 times 2 equals 6, which means the number x is representing is 2. But it doesn't have to be x. It could be x, y, z, O, P, N, K, any number. Also, we need to look at right here. So 3x. What's this 3 right here? So this just means 3 times x, right? So 3 right here is a coefficient. In a lot of these functions, you're going to see two numbers being multiplied together. Often, it's going to be a variable or a couple of variables being multiplied with a number. That number right here is the coefficient. And also, let's look at 3x. Well, right here, I'm going to tell you something. So, a lot of times, you're going to be like x times a plus b. And then you wouldn't know this is a times because there's no symbol there. So you know how sometimes we use the letter x and the multiplication sign is kind of like x? Well, mathematicians chose not to use this multiplication sign in a lot of these functions because they're afraid that it could get messed up with being a variable. So they discovered other ways to do this. For example, adding parentheses around a value means it's being multiplied. Or another would be x times a, for example. This times sign is now using a dot. So that's also something to keep in mind. Now let's talk about division. So division, say you're doing x divided by 3. X divided by 3. Well, that's equal to x times 1 third. So you could do 1/3 x. That's right, fractions can also be coefficients. That's why this is fractional coefficients. You can also do x over 3, right? This is also division, but it's just this way that it helps our calculations. Okay, and then right here, we have removing denominators, and this is more zooming into fractional coefficients. Removing denominators. So what does that mean? Let's have an equation here. X divided by 3 equals 6. So what we would do here is try to get rid of this denominator. Really, this is 1 over 3 times x, right? But if we were going to get rid of this denominator, and let's say we also have another 2x over 5. So 5 and 3. We want to get rid of both of these denominators. So we first need to find their LCM, which is their least common multiple. So the LCM of 5 and 3 is 15. So what we're going to do is multiply 15 to both sides of this function. So we're going to have 15 times 2x plus 15x. But we also have to multiply 15 to, so we multiply 15 to each of these sides, right? 15 times 5. 5 gets canceled out, so it's just 3. 15 times x over 3. The 3 gets canceled out, and 15 becomes a 5, so 5x. We also have to multiply 15 to the right side, which is with 6. So what we were going to do is multiply 6 with 15, so that's 75. There we have it. We don't have any denominators, and we can solve for x. And if you're interested, you can actually pause the video and solve this for now, but the answer will not be given in this video. So we learned about vocabulary and removing denominators in in functions with fractional coefficients. And another important skill is to be able to write down these functions after reading a word problem. So that's another skill we're going to be working in this lesson. So yeah, thank you for watching through Inquisitive Kids, and see you in our next